Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have a special treat for you this evening.
Everybody fucking jump!
I just thought I'd do that. No big deal. Just turn it a little bit. We're a little cockeyed today. No, not that. Okay, I'll do it. Sit down. There. Excuse our technical difficulties. I was just playing some music and thought I would bring you all in on it, but you know, I guess my vibration was so high and powerful that it turned the camera sideways. Anyway, welcome to Ask the Unicorn. I'm Uhura Z. This is Kazi. Say hello, Kazi.
Something is burning. What is burning? Oh.
Do you mind?
No, I don't. Thank you for joining. Tonight is episode 56. It is January 21, 2015.
Kazi's a little off today.
I've been doing stuff, so I'm kind of trying to catch up.
Yeah. Anyway, if you don't want the heater on, I'll gladly turn it
No,
on.
I didn't know what it was. I'm not thinking about the heater.
Yeah, whatever. Well, anyway, welcome to Ask the Unicorn. I'm Uhura Z. This is Kazi, and Kazi has just come from doing stuff in the kitchen, so she's a little off this evening. However, I am perfectly fine. I was just listening to really freaking loud music. No big deal. Anyway, this is Ask the Unicorn. I will answer questions of a spiritual matter, universal matter, metaphysical, paranormal, and mystical matter. However, there are two types of questions that I do not answer, and that is whether or not someone's going to die or whether or not someone is cheating. Those are unfair questions, and if you want to deal with that whole cheating matter, you need to confront the person yourself. Now, beyond that, any question is fair game that has to do with the metaphysical, the paranormal, the spiritual, and the mystical. Now, hopefully this evening we have a really, really good bunch of questions. We won't be so cold this evening because last week we were like totally freezing. But I guess Kazi's not used to having heat in my room, so. Anyway, if you what?
Penguin.
Yeah, whatever.
Penguin powers.
If you all have any questions, please feel free to ask them. You can either ask them in the chat room or you can give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. Now, before we get into all of that, however, there are two things that I'd like to talk about. One of them is that I'm doing a campaign on Indiegogo, and it is for Daily Bread Bakery. And if you check on my Facebook page, there's the Uhura Z Deliza Facebook page. You'll see that campaign on Indiegogo. I would really appreciate your checking it out and helping. You can do anything. You can leave a contribution of anything from $5 to $10,000, which would be very, very well appreciated, and it would help me get the Daily Bread Bakery off to a good start. Now, the Daily Bread Bakery is basically about low-sodium baked goods for those people that have to do a low-sodium diet. And also I feature gluten-free products as well. I only use organic products. I only use organic flour. I am doing my best to, at the moment, experiment with things that call for a sweet taste rather than using sugar at all. I'm trying to use honey, and that's coming out really, really well. I can do almost any flavor of bread or muffin. I also do donuts, but you know, donuts have an awful lot of fat in them that I try to steer away from, but if there are people that like donuts, that's fine. You know, for those people that have an intolerance of gluten, I am really working with things right now. Not only organic flour, but even first form flour, which is called einkorn flour, which is unhybrid. Bless you. Which is unhybridized flour. And what I mean by that is that this einkorn flour was actually one of the first forms of flour that was used, and it's very, very good. and it has this wonderful quality about it. Now, Kazi can tell you a little bit about that. She probably will at some point in time. Now, moving on though, I would like, if you checked it out, that's Indiegogo, and you can check out Daily Bread Bakery, Low Sodium Bakery, however they have it on there, or just go through the link on my Facebook page. Now, we also like to talk about independent film. I will keep doing that, as independent filmmakers here in New England are working very diligently to bring you wonderful entertainment. I am part of a group of independent filmmakers that are very talented, very diligent, and working very, very hard. There's some great movies coming out this year by us, and one of them I had the director in a few weeks ago, and that was Seth Roberts. It's also produced by Alan Dillingham, and I was actually in this film. It is called Wendigo Rising. There's another one that they have also brought out, and that is called Bad Kid, that you can look for. You can also look for How to Kill a Zombie, and that is by Killatainment Films, and that's Bill McLean. And there are a number of other films that you can look for. There's films by Kevin DeBacco, who is has a very well standing in the independent film industry here. Now, we're not trying to be like Hollywood. We are attempting to bring you all entertainment without all of the politicism and repetition of films, constant repetition of films. Now, so check us out. You can check out my page, which is falcaremovie.com, and that's www.falcaremovie.com, and find out what I'm doing with Falcare and when it's coming out, and so you see some of the pictures from the production. And we'll be coming out with a trailer very, very soon, and we're all looking forward to the release of Falcare. Now, moving on, if you have any questions, I am here, the unicorn is in, and I am ready. And Kazi has her chaga.
No, I don't. It's not chaga.
I said your chaga cup.
It's
or
not
glass.
a cup. It's a jar.
Whatever.
That
It
I'm
is whatever I
drinking
choose
water
for it
out
to
of.
be at the moment. It looks like a cup. So there, and it says chaga.
Jar. Why?
Go ahead.
Whatever. Okay. We have one question. It's from Olga Gallardo.
Hello.
She says, I heard my name being called 3 times. The first time my boyfriend heard it, thought it was my mom, but it wasn't. Second time a little girl called me by my nickname down the hallway. The cat raised its back. The last time a man called my name fast from a small window from the kitchen. What is going on?
Someone's obviously trying to get your attention.
Stop eating.
Okay. And if you just maybe there's someone who knows you, that has been thinking a lot about you, and you're picking that up. But the fact that your boyfriend heard it at the same time gives a connotation that that's a spiritual matter there, which means that there's some activity in your home or surrounding you that you should pay attention to. Okay, and that's what that means. Someone is actually trying to get your attention, and whether it be from this dimension or the next, that fact is true. Now, if you'd like even more insight to that, you can probably give me a call, and I'll go further into it with you, and maybe see if I can set you up with either myself or someone that's in your area that is capable of doing a full investigation. Okay, be happy to do that.
Manbongo says hi.
How are you doing?
Hello. Did we ever give our review about The Hobbit?
Oh, The Hobbit. That's right. We went to see The Hobbit.
Okay.
The third part of The
Battle
Hobbit.
of the Five Armies, yes. Battle of the Five Armies.
I have to say that it was the best of the three. I will say that. The performance was great, although I still think that they turned the dwarves into Klingons. Really.
How did they make them look so small?
Well, dwarves are small.
I know, but the actors aren't, obviously. They just did.
Oh, how did they do it?
Yes,
Well,
like
just graphics. You know, they have millions of dollars that they
That's
can
true.
make things look like that.
they made the fairy. They made the fairies.
Yeah, they can do all kinds of things. I wish I had half of their
in,
money.
What's that movie? Maleficent.
Male pheasant? Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Am I supposed to say fecund? Whatever.
You said it was a kid-friendly show. I don't know. Maleficent.
I don't think that it's a
Maleficent.
kid-friendly show. I'm sorry.
Maleficent, your show.
What, my show?
Yes,
Which one?
this one.
This was a kid-friendly show, yeah. It definitely is a kid. I don't say any swear words.
Maleficent.
That music might have said something, but
Yes.
I don't say anything. But I will say that The Hobbit was very well done. Of course, cinematographically, cinematically, it was awesome. But I have to say that Maleficent was also cinematically awesome. It's just the story was crap. That had to be the crappiest adaptation of any Disney story that I ever seen. And I have to say The Hobbit was very, very good. Total contrast. It was awesome. So I do recommend you going to see The Hobbit. It will be well worth your money and well worth your time. And you know what would be really cool is if you got all three of them together so that you can just do a whole day of Hobbit. And by the end of it, you would have hair growing on the top of your feet.
Gross. That's gross.
What?
Terry is watching. Hi, Terry. And,
Hey, Terry, how are you?
And Michelle Ayat. Hello.
Thank you all for watching. Now, any other questions at all?
Maine lobster cup.
Yes.
Lobster.
This is my Maine lobster cup. For all of you that are wondering, I have finally embraced the culture of Maine. And I have lobster things. I have lobster things and lighthouse things. Lobster Lighthouse, Maine.
No.
All right. So, what kind of questions do we have this evening? Oh, wait. Before I actually do answer your questions, listen. I know that you've all been witnessing all of the crap that has been going on in our world. Okay. There's some people that have just totally gone bug nuts. You do not have to be a part of that whole thing. Okay. Try to stay clear of that. Don't go choosing sides, because if you choose sides, you're going to be wrong. Okay? The only thing you should choose sides in is whether or not the Patriots cheated. Okay? I had just started to like the Patriots. Anyway, I think they could have beat the Colts anyway. But whatever. I just think they could have. I don't see why anybody would have to cheat in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, don't go choosing sides, okay? You hear what's happening in France, don't choose a side. Please do not, because it'll put you in the wrong either way, okay? If it doesn't have to do with you directly, try to stay out of it. If there's some things that are happening with America or whatever country you're viewing this show in, deal with that, okay? But do your best not to be biased in any way, shape, or form. I am so against being biased in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I'm an equal opportunity person. I'm also an equal opportunity being. So, as far as I'm concerned, there's always two sides to a story. I'm not going to pick one until I hear both ends, okay? And then I'll decide. So try to steer clear of the madness, all right? There's some things that you need to do, and that is get along with your life. Make sure the relationships in your family are intact. If you got your job, make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do at your job. Have some spiritual input in your life. Make sure that you're doing some exercise and eating well, or at least trying to. Steer clear of Monsanto and anybody who's affiliated with Monsanto. Don't go buying into, if somebody is vegan, you tell them, hey, you sit over in your corner and you eat your vegetables and don't bother me because I want to have my hamburger. And at the same time, don't try to convince someone to have a hamburger who doesn't want one.
I want one. I want a nice thick hamburger with cheese and bacon and some crispy fried onion rings on them and some pickles.
Whatever.
And jalapenos.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you know what you'll do? You'll
jalapenos.
take one bite of it and then put the rest away.
That's not true.
Yes, you do.
Away
You have
my
someone
stomach.
like she goes and says, I want donuts or cookies, and then you bake a whole batch of cookies. She takes one and then leaves the
I
rest.
take one and then I take one for later.
That's like a week later.
No, I like the donut holes you make Big ones.
Well, yeah.
I like
I
donuts.
make the
in
donut. I make the small
holes.
ones.
Holes
I make
in
the
the
small
holes.
ones. You know, anyway,
I like circle baked goods and circles shaped like a circle.
anyway,
I don't know why.
please, try to keep peace in your life. You know, there are a lot of people that sit up and say that life is too short. I don't believe that at all. I think
Wow.
life gives you just
Sorry.
enough, gives you just a, wow.
Hi, Charlie.
What's up, Charlie?
Wow. I did my fairy tale. Wow. Wow.
Wow, that is Charlie.
Charlie says, bacon, bacon.
Anyway, try to get along with each other, all right? Try really hard. Try very hard. It's important. We're in 2015. There's some beautiful things happening and beautiful opportunities that are happening. How about we be a part of all of those wonderful opportunities? We may even be introduced to a new species this year. Okay? Or an old species that we like to call new because we think that we were here first. So I'm just saying, try to get along with each other, all right? All right, so questions. What do you got for me? Anything.
Oh,
What?
sorry. I don't have to question. Oh, yes, I do have a question. I have a question from Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
She says, hello, love the humor tonight. I've been seeing small, soft orbs in front of people talking on TV when it is something kind and stuff.
When it's something kind.
Yes, and she says, wait, there's more. Today I saw an orb when the word friend was said, as well as a juxtaposition line in front of me. Could you explain? And she says, I think I have an idea.
Yeah. When you are seeing that, you're seeing the positive energy manifest in front of someone, not only in front of someone, but waiting to get into someone. Because, you know, an interesting thing happens when you have positive thought. Not only does the positive thought leave you, the positive thought at the same time enters you. So the juxtaposition that you're seeing is a dual vibration that is actually doing and not doing at the same time, if that makes sense. You know, as you inhale, you're actually exhaling, and as you exhale, you're actually inhaling at the same time. You know, it's like they're dimensional U's, and the more positivity you give, the more you get. It is that universal law of exchange that I've always told you about, which is whatever you give, there's always an exchange. So if you're giving positivity, you'll get positivity back, and perhaps that person had enough in them to say something positive and therefore got it back, and you got to witness that energy exchange. That's what that is. Kazi's been watching way too much anime.
I haven't been watching enough
Way
anime.
too much anime.
Enough
okay?
anime. Not watching enough. I went on like a week-long Destiny binge, and now
Right.
my eyes are like, yaha, dude, I'm at level 21. I went from, what did I tell you? I was like level 18, 7, 12
Yeah.
to level 21.
Well, your light level is actually 21.
What?
Just
I heard.
your
What?
level is actually lower.
Huh?
Yeah,
It
there's
says 21 plus, and then it's in
your, yeah, I know.
yellow.
Yeah, I know. That's your light level.
You telling
Did
me?
you actually just say Lelo?
No, I didn't. I said level. No, I said level. No, I said level. Level.
Jedi mind trick.
You can't fool me. I said level.
Anyway, so how you doing, Charlie? Oh, that's Charlie Alejandro, who used to be my co-host on this show.
Yeah.
And every once in a century or so, we actually hear from her. You know,
Mhm.
when she's not being mad at me for telling the outcome of games or bagging on her favorite team. Yeah. Anyway, if you have any questions, you can do them in the chat room and Kazi will read them to me, or you can just give us a call. We do like talking to people on the phone as well. And we welcome the opportunity to answer any of your questions.
I look like a floating head there. Now people can see.
You are a
shoulders.
floating head. Yes.
Barbara
Oh,
Fly.
by the way, in the movie Valkyrie, Kali plays the part of Pele.
Kali?
I mean,
You
Kali.
said Kali! Oh!
I mean, Kazi plays the part of Pele.
Freudian slip. Ooh.
No, yeah, because I don't get to have Kali in this movie, and I really want Kali in this movie. Because Just can't seem to find someone who's capable of playing Kali.
I could if I was.
No, you can't do it.
If I was.
You could play Kali. You could very easily play
If I
Kali.
was of that culture.
Well, you can play it anyway, but my point is you're playing Pele, so you can't do Kali.
Exactly.
You know.
Double roll.
Yeah. What is she saying?
Charlie says, "Back off my team." And Michelle says, "Well, thank you. Oh, how I need my classes."
Yes, you do, and I am waiting anxiously to instruct you. Which brings up a point. I do teach classes. I teach classes in metaphysics, and I also teach classes in divine sciences and spirituality. The primary thing that you get with any of my classes is psychic self-defense. You must learn how not only to develop your energy and develop your gifts, but you must learn how to protect your energy and the energy of your loved ones. For those of you that are thinking of doing paranormal investigation, I do train paranormal investigators, and I train teams of people. You will get my certification, and you can go out and do what you can do. And I run Unicorn Ranger Psychic Police Department. And I have done so for a really long time, long before it was cool. And it's cool now for, it's just that I don't have a double chin, and I'm not balding yet. And say things like, "Did you see that? Something just brushed my shoulder. Run!" "Something touched my shoulder."
Wait, I have to get out of the camera.
Anyway, that's enough.
Artemis Rising says, "Hello, everyone." Hello.
Hello.
Barbara Flag says, "Good evening." Hi, Barbara.
Good evening. How are you? Artemis Rising. Do you know that in the movie Valkyrie we have a character, Artemis? And she's played by Sandra Bulliu, and she is so perfect for the part. Sandra's like 9 feet tall, and she's really strong.
So tall.
And she can actually shoot a bow and ride a horse. And she does all these wonderful things in the movie, and it's a really wonderful addition to Valkyrie. As I said, you can check out Valkyrie at www.valkyriemovie.com. Now, if you want to take classes from me, I can be reached at www.asktheunicorn.com or www.unicorn-cove.com. And our phone number is area code 207-347-5686. Now, if you call and no one answers the phone and the answering service picks up, don't just hang up. Leave a message. You leave a message, I can call you back. If you don't leave a message, I'm not calling you back. Okay? I'm not. And there are a lot of people that I've told this and they refuse to leave a message. And then ask me later, well, no one called me back. It's because you didn't leave a message.
Yeah, you have to leave a message. Sometimes I'm out away from the phone and I can't get to it on time. Leave a message and I'll call you back.
Mm-hmm. We do a lot of things here. And all of them are necessary.
A lot of things, a lot of animal things.
Not just that you're the only one that does that, because I don't.
Because I've got
I do all kinds of things like teach classes, bake, teach classes,
bake, explode the kitchen.
And do readings.
Explode the
teach
kitchen
classes,
and explode the kitchen.
do seminars and go to speaking engagements, help people find out about a ghost.
Explode the kitchen.
Tell people that it's not a ghost, you just had too many Skittles.
Well, we have somebody calling. Hello? Hello? It's Terry. Hi, hello?
Hi, Terry.
Hello? Hi, Terry.
Is she there?
Hi. Yes. Oh, yeah, no. Yes, I can. Let me put you on speaker.
And it doesn't go up when you can see it, so.
Hi.
Okay, hi, this way. I was agreeing with you on the psychic draining thing.
Yeah. You'll have to turn your TV down.
Or the computer.
Or the computer.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I was, hi.
You'll have to turn your Terry, turn your sound down.
Yes, John.
Okay.
I had to actually get out both the computer and the phone because I was trying to watch you on the phone.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, you there? Oh, we're having a little trouble listening to Terry on the phone. Wow.
I'm not even talking and it's still going.
Yeah, you got to turn your sound down
On your computer.
on your computer. Turn the sound down on your computer.
Wait a minute. Can you hear me on the computer and the phone?
Yeah, I can hear. You have to turn your computer down.
No, we have to hear you on the phone and not on the computer.
On the computer.
On your computer. Turn the sound down on your computer. Yeah, listen to that guy.
Trying to do. Wait a minute. Can you hear me on the computer and the phone?
Yeah, I can hear. You have to turn your
computer down.
No, we have to hear you on the phone and not.
That's really funny. Here, you deal with it while it's not on speaker. I'm gonna keep talking. Just help her through that. Okay. And for the rest of you, if you're going to call in, make sure that the sound is turned down on your computer or on your whatever monitor you're watching us on. Otherwise, what will happen is you'll get that lag that you're listening to right now. So try to do that. Now, if you have any other questions about things like film or things like, I'm also open to those kind of questions as well. And about music, because we do also have an independent record label that we do our own music. My wife and myself sing together. We are a group that is called Pisces Project.
Terry?
You'll have to figure out that. And we put out our own music, and all of the music that you will hear in the movie Falcon is original.
Yeah, you turned off your computer sound, right? Okay, great. There's like a few second lags between us live and the computer. All right, so I'm gonna. Yeah, people are saying that they're having technical difficulties on the chat room. People's questions aren't going through. So let me put you on speaker now, okay? All right, you are now on speaker, Terry.
Yeah, I can hear you now. How you doing? How are you? Terry?
Better?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Much better. Well, I was saying about, I was interested in your question about the psychic draining, and I was going to say, yeah, everybody needs to learn how to protect themselves, not just people dealing with metaphysical things.
Oh, of course.
Just walking in a crowd or walking into a space somewhere, energies can drain you, can take your energy away from you, and you have to learn how to protect yourself so that doesn't happen. It took me a long time to learn that, but once I learned it, I stopped getting so sick all the time and, falling out.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's something that everybody needs to learn, definitely.
Everyone does need to learn psychic self-defense. You'd be amazed at how many things that are out there that can attack you, and not just people, but just bad energy in a place. Maybe you're out someplace and you happen to walk into a very depressive area. You need to learn how to protect yourself from that area. So.
It's also people.
Well, yeah, it's definitely people,
what
but.
don't realize is that some people are like magnets, and they just pull from other people energy, and I don't know how to say it the way you would, but it's something that I had to study up and learn on, because I found out that when I was in a certain they're broadcasting a need, and that broadcasting of need is actually taking from people that are, well, like me, I give, you know, I'm empathic. I can feel energies and I can feel emotions, and I have to fix them. But I realize that you can't just keep overgiving. You know, you have to learn there's a medium there, and I had to realize that when you're around some people, not a lot of people, but there are some people that constantly are broadcasting a need, and they're broadcasting that need, and they're pulling it to them, and they don't even realize they're doing it. But you have to protect yourself, otherwise you're the one that's going to get drained.
Well, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same with anything else. It's kind of like, you know, you have the constant need to help people. There's always going to be someone who is in constant need. Now, you do need to protect yourself from people. You also need to protect yourself from even the energy that. You also need to protect yourself from even the energy that is there. You know, so yes, protect yourself from people. Definitely do that. At the same time, be aware of your environment. Sometimes a person is a victim of their environment, and that's why they go on and need somebody else's energy. Okay? So, make sure, you know, like I said, even when you're doing what you do, Terry, because I know you very well, and for those of you that don't know, Terry's a good friend of mine, and she is very empathic, and she does have the ability to pick up what a person is feeling. You know, oftentimes it can help them that way. One of the things that you also want to make sure that you're doing, and this is for anybody else that has that type of a gift, I know that all of us that are givers, we have this thing where we want to go out and save the world. And we want to make sure that nobody's hurting. We want to provide for everyone. We want to make sure that everyone is receiving some good in their life. That's all wonderful. But you have to make sure that you're taking care of your own energy so that you can help anybody else's energy. Okay? So please take care of yourself first. Then you will be equipped to deal with anybody else's energy. Make sure that you are doing all of the things that you need to do to protect yourself. Make sure that you are doing all of the things that you need to do to nurture yourself. And make sure that you are doing all of the things that you need to do so that it keeps you in a position of protection. Okay? It's like what I was saying earlier about, you know, being positive. If you send out positivity, that positivity will return to you. Okay? It's just that way. That is a universal principle. You know, just like breathing. At the same time, if you're thinking of protecting yourself, you'll protect yourself from within, and you'll protect yourself from without. Okay? Terry, can you still hear me? Yeah, I think we're having some difficulty on the phone. I'm sorry for those of you that keep trying to get your questions on the chat room. If you're having any kind of difficulty, just keep trying and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you can email your questions to us,
Here, take care of that.
or you can send it to us.
Terry, I'll talk to you soon, okay? Thank you for calling in. Anyway, are there any other questions while we're waiting for that to clear up?
Oh yeah, she hung up.
Okay.
I guess it was too much. Yes, we have a question from Artemis Rising. It's Jolana.
No kidding.
She says, "Hi all. My question has to do with numerology. I understand that numbers have a vibration, but what does that really mean? She says, if I see a number somewhere or as part of something, does that mean that that object is vibrating? A person who has a ruling number, so does that, if a person has a ruling number, does that mean that is the way that that person vibrates? The books on the subject don't explain much about why."
That's because you can't really learn from a book. You have to actually learn from a person. You know, you have to actually be able to see how it's being used. Okay? Ruling numbers and numbers that are recessive, outer expression, inner expression, that's a lot of jargon, okay? You need to actually bypass a lot of that to get to the essence of things, which is why when I was showing you numerology, I took you through the paces that I took you through. You have to be able to add up the numbers and then get a definition for each of the numbers. There are variations on each number. Now, remember, basic numerology goes 1 to 9. No matter what you do, it's always going to go 1 to 9. Okay? Now, this is what I mean by a vibrational frequency. A frequency is the frequency in which something vibrates. Okay? So, let's say that the number 1 vibrates to 1 time. So it goes just once. Okay, that is called a frequency. How many times something vibrates. Okay, so if you're talking about the vibration, you're talking about the basic vibrational pattern. That something vibrates in. Okay, so let's say the color blue vibrates this fast. How many times does it vibrate in between each second? Or between 5 seconds. Now let's say that the color orange vibrates this fast.
How
Okay.
fast?
How many times did it actually vibrate in a period of time? That's what vibrational frequency is. Now, when you see a number, you're looking at that number, and also, okay, I have to split things apart. Now we've decided how fast something moves, how many times that it moves. We also have to figure out what the definition of each one of those frequencies is. Okay? And there could be a myriad of definitions. However, there's a basic pole star definition for each one of the numbers. What you do is you locate that definition of that number and then find out what other numbers cause that number to change. Okay? And then figure out how to apply that to you and your daily life. Now, as I said, you're going to have to take classes at some point in time, especially if you're on that end, just, trying to figure out all of these numbers and what they all mean. That can take a really long time, but you do get good at it with practice. Okay? Now, I've given you a lot of these definitions already. Okay, just refer to your notes. 1 through 9. Okay, what does Z say that 1 meant? Okay, let's just take some basic stuff. 1 is beginning. Okay, so beginning, first, that particular number vibrates to red. That particular vibration goes to the astrological correlation, which would be Aries. Okay, what does Aries stand for? Oneness. Aries stands for horse. Aries stands for creativity. It stands for family. It also stands for passion and desire. Okay, let's just do those. Okay, now let's go to 2. Okay, 2, which is finance, which is also relationships. Well, actually, it's more like the impedance of a relationship. So let's just call it kind of relationships, and that's then let's then let's say okay, but that also leads to a foundation of something, right? So we have to go through the astrological place, which would be Taurus, which is the second dome. Okay, now I'm giving a whole lesson here. Okay,
Sure, I'm writing it down.
now 3, which is orange. Oh wait, we have to go to the color of Taurus, which will be brown. And why would it be brown? Because Taurus
Brown.
represents the earth, right? Okay, earth sign, we all know that, earth kingdom. Okay, but it represents a lot of things, so if we go to Taurus, we've got brown. We've also got the planet that is represented by Taurus, that it represents, and that would actually be Earth, which ironically is the only planet that is on the astrological wheel that is not accounted for. Basically because they figure, well, you're on Earth, so, Now, if we do all of that, and we go through this, I'll sit here and give you a 2-hour lesson, which I'm not going to do, because you know as well as I do that if you really want to take classes, then you'll attend the classes. You can't just attend one class and think that you understand numerology. Remember the notes that I've given you. Refer to those notes. Okay, for those of you that want to learn, I do teach. I do not teach for free. Okay? But I am perfectly willing to teach you, and you will learn. All you have to do is use what it is that I've already given you. Don't try to go from book to book to book to book thinking that you're going to learn anything. All you learn is how to be confused. Okay? Start with the basics and then stay with the basics. You need to learn and master the basics of any single thing that you do. It is only in mastering a basic that you'll learn anything, that you'll be able to apply any type of knowledge, that you'll be able to use practically any type of knowledge. Okay? 1, beginning. 2, relationships. 3, dynamic. 4, grounding. 5, mediation. 6, detail. 7, union. 8, transformation. 9, self-realization. 10, applicants or appliance, how to apply something. Okay? 11, the group. 12, liberation. I told you these. Okay? Remember those. And if you can't remember them tonight, just look at the podcast when we put it out. Okay?
Awesome.
That'll be just fine. Those are the basics. Those are the bottom. And I started that way. Yes, I can do numerology really, really quickly. If you give me somebody's numbers, or even give me their name, I'll figure it out. And then I'll tell you exactly what they're going through, or what it is that they need to go through, or where it is that they've come from, or what it is they'll be going through maybe in next year or so. You know, that's the interesting thing. But here's the clincher when it comes to numerology. You cannot properly study numerology unless you are also studying astrology, unless you are also studying vibrational frequency. You cannot. You can kid yourself and say, oh yes, I know numerology, but I don't know anything about astrology, in which case you're severely, you might as well join that ghost hunter team. You know, there is a way to do everything, especially when you're dealing with the metaphysical world and you're dealing with those things which we refer to in the spiritual community as divine sciences. When you're dealing with those, there are rules. You don't have to stay inside of a box, but you do have to apply the framework. Okay. As a matter of fact, I got really good at numerology because I'm a musician. You know, music is math. That's just the way that it is. And then when I learned numerology, the basics of numerology, and then the different types of numerology, I started practically applying things. And you can do that. Say if you encounter a number, how does that number apply to you in that particular time? You know, you get all these people that are looking for some great mystical awakening or opening just because they see 11:11. You know, oh, 11:11, I saw it again. You
Make
know.
a wish.
Go ahead.
What?
Yeah, I've
Did I
also
say that like a game master? Wish master.
you know, so there's a lot to numerology. You want to learn? I'll be happy to teach you. And especially you, Jelana, you know better. You know what I've taught you. Okay.
I think she just misses us.
Well, I'm here. I told you. You're always welcome.
Yeah.
You're always welcome. What was that?
We have another question from Barbara Flagg.
Hi, Barbara.
She says, scrolling up.
Wow, that was a while ago. Anybody
No.
talking that long?
You've been talking for a while. Here it is. I have a patch of woods that borders my yard. This patch of woods has made me feel uncomfortable since I've moved into my home. What could it be that I'm picking up on? And then she says, and I have other patches of woods around my house, but I do not get the same feeling from them.
That's one of those areas that I was talking about. You may there may be an area in which it's a negative area that you may need to treat or have someone come out and do a blessing of that land or remove something. Could just be a negative energy out there. Perhaps there's a depressive area that something actually happened, or even a ghost that's there, perhaps a spirit that is there that makes you feel very uneasy. Also, it could be a vulnerable place in the energy field. So if you feel that bad about it, perhaps where is she located? Where are you located?
I believe Barbara is in Maine.
If you're close enough, we might be happy. We're happy to come out and take a look at it. And not only take a look at it, if something needs to be done, I can do it. If you're capable of doing it yourself, set up a perimeter. If you just give me a call, I'll explain to you how to do it.
Cool. And Bungo asks, what are your thoughts on the future of Earth? And he also wanted to say thanks to all of you for taking your time to speak to us. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you.
Thank you. For the future of Earth, I see the Earth going through some changes. Definitely a shift. It's been working towards a shift for the last 9 years. And I also, people are always talking about how the Earth is going to end. I don't think that the Earth will end at all. I think there's a high possibility that we may be shaken off of this Earth. We may end, but the Earth will go on. It's constantly in a state of recreation and destruction every single day. Now, whether or not some celestial body will come through and smash into us and knock us into smithereens, I severely hope not. I do think this, though, and this is my theory, that if you take a look at Venus, Venus used to be a twin planet to Earth. And Venus had its own moon. Our particular moon is a combination of two different surfaces, which basically means that there was an event that happened that caused our moons to smash into each other and become one. Perhaps there were two smaller moons. That would also account for the fact that Venus has a lower rate of rotation than we do. And the reason that Venus does not have a proper atmosphere, or maybe proper for Venusian people, but is not the same atmosphere as ours, is because Venus no longer has a moon. I think that people believe that, or scientists believe that something crashed into Venus, but I don't think that's the case at all. I think that something went between us and caused the moon to be knocked away and smashed into the other. Now, things don't explode in space. Things implode in space, which basically means there were two different bodies that joined to become one. Well, unfortunately, whatever caused that moon to shift caused it to join with our moon, which was closer to us than it was Venus, and therefore knocked Venus's entire gravitational field out of kilter, and also took away its whole environment. So now it's kind of a, well, they say that it's got a greenhouse gases and stuff like that, but they really don't know what Venus has. It's too hot for anything to actually be seen. Not only that, for those of you that believe that whatever they're doing with the chemtrailing is to block the rays of the sun so that we don't have greenhouse gases, that is a lie. What they're actually doing is basing something on Venus, and they're actually creating greenhouse effects by doing that. If you block the rays of the sun, if you block those vital things that the sun provides to keep us whole and healthy and all that good stuff and keep the earth in the condition that is in, you will cause greenhouse effect. You will cause a greenhouse effect, and it will block good things that need to be done to this earth. So pretty much we could wind up looking like Venus. Well, not really, because we have a moon, but we'd wind up with some pretty bad air eventually. If they keep doing this kind of stuff and people don't actually stand up and say, look, we need to get you out of our skies, period, then we could wind up with a very bad atmosphere. They will burn the sky and make it improper for breathing. Knowing our particular country, what they'll do is they'll mess up our air and then sell air filters and tell us that we have to have them as part of a free act. Wait, Affordable Air Act.
What? Oxygen bars?
Tell us that we have to have these filters in our home you know, because they've screwed up the air. You know, oh, they'll figure out a way to sell air. Believe me, mark my words. Okay, so, and as far as the whole gun control thing, you know, stuff like that, I have to say this. I have to go with the old adage, you know, guns don't kill people, people do. And that's just the truth. Guns are a magnificent work of art, and they do have a function. The reason that we have a Second Amendment is so that we don't have a corrupted government. And you know something? I hope I never have to use a gun against a person. It's not something that makes you feel good at all. But, you know, if I have to pull that trigger again, I have to pull that trigger. I have to. Absolutely have to. Other than that, I just throw a rock at them. You know? And as far as any of the other stuff, you know, if we look at our world right now, it's pretty much it's getting fast towards chaos. It's just bad. Look, if you look at even our food, man, there are things that are put in our food that you have to wonder if these countries or these companies are actually trying to kill us on purpose. What, we're not dying fast enough, so you gotta figure out a way to poison our food so that we, you know, get sick and die? Think of all of this stuff. Do you know that all of the wheat is actually sprayed? It's wheat, that simple wheat, you know, that you buy at the grocery store is sprayed with a chemical that is used to kill plants. It's called Roundup. Yes, Roundup. Yes, it's actually sprayed with Roundup. Wheat. Sprayed with Roundup. So a lot of you people that think that you have a gluten intolerance, I don't think that's it at all. I think it's because of the chemicals that are used to spray wheat, you know, with, and used to spray a lot of the plants with. That, you know, it's great that you can eat organic. Just make sure that they're not also spraying it. You have organic things that are sprayed with chemicals too. Just make sure they're not doing that. All in all, I'm looking at a gigantic thing. We are supposed to live in harmony. We are supposed to live in peace, you know? Supposed to. If there are certain things that our government knows are poison to us as humans, then why let them be here? Why? Every other country, damn near every other country, has kicked Monsanto out because of what they're trying to do. Poison people. Literally poison people. Why haven't we? Why? And you know what's really funny is you get all these stupid politicians that sit up in our Congress and they bicker at each other and they use all of this double talk, and they don't just come out and call someone a liar. They say, oh, I don't think that Senator so-and-so is actually being forthcoming with speaking the entire truth of the forthcoming this and the honesty. You know, just call the dude a liar. He's lying.
But all of the politicians are liars.
Well, they're all liars. You know, you think you got an honest politician? My friend, I suggest you open one of those handy-dandy notebooks that is called the dictionary and find out what the word politician, how it is defined.
Let's do it.
Okay? Dictionary. Politician.
Doing it.
No. They can do it on their own time. However,
Can't spell.
don't find one of those dictionaries that has the word booty call in it. That's... Really? Seriously? I don't care.
Ooh, yes, the last one says, a person who seeks to gain power or advancement within an organization in ways that are generally disapproved.
Politician. You know, so
Skilled in politics. That doesn't help me.
I am hoping for this world that we all see the light. And that we understand that the earth is a living being. It's not just some rock. For some odd reason, there are these companies lately here in Maine that just have this vendetta against trees. You know, just cutting them down. Putting up more Dollar Tree stores. Things like that. You know, just whole beautiful trees cut down. We were driving along earlier today and just saw a whole strip of trees that were just mowed down. For what?
They were too close to the highway, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, lay off the trees. The trees actually help us. I can't believe that there are people that are so stupid as to believe that we can get along without trees. Makes you think, doesn't it? What, are they trying to just sully up the air so that another species can live here? Is that it? Get rid of this one? No, I don't think so. That's not going to happen, that, as long as I can do something about it. We need to seriously wake up. This earth does need us, and we need this earth. I was actually looking at, if you look at most of the things, there's if you look at our old science books or old astronomy books that talk about planets like Venus. Now look, this is back in the 50s and 60s. We didn't go to Venus. We didn't send anything to Venus. But we have this whole spread of the theory of what Venus is like.
Yeah, we sent
What did we send?
Venus Express.
When?
2000 and...
I said in the 50s and 60s.
Oh, in the 50s and 60s. Yeah.
Yeah. And even when we sent the Express, it didn't express back.
No. It's still out there. It may have melted.
So, mostly
It did
what
melt.
science tells us, listen,
It melted.
and I'll tell this to any scientist, especially that guy who decided that Pluto is not a planet. I can't stand that dude.
Why did he
Okay.
decide that?
Because he's a moron. Anyway,
What?
look,
Oh.
science fills our head with all of this crap, and they don't have a clue. All they do is theorize. They tell you what stuff is, and they really don't know. They don't know it all. There's only one way to prove things. Take your butt to Venus. Or as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, get your ass to Mars. Okay? You have to go to Mars if you're going to tell me anything about Mars, okay? Other than you looked at it. Don't tell me what it's made of. You don't know. Don't tell me what Venus is made of. You don't know. Even your little machine could be lying. It could be called tryptophan, but you're calling it iron. Because that's what your little stupid machine says. So as far as what I think for this earth, I think this earth will go on. Whether or not we will, that's another story. Now, if we happen to wake up one morning and see this giant rock-like thing hurtling slowly towards us, like filling the whole sky, we got a problem. But all of the talk about Nibiru, I've known Nibiru has been out there for decades. I have known this. I saw it. Long story as to how I saw it, but I saw it. And I told people about it. They told me I was crazy. Now it's just all the rave. It's not going to smash into us. I don't care what anyone says, it won't. Okay? We will go on. We must find a way to go on. There have been some celestial events that could have quite possibly ended us as life on this planet. Humans as life on this planet. There are a lot of celestial events that are capable of doing that. However, we're a remarkable race of people. And we're only one race. To be human makes you all the same race. I know that there's some really stupid people out there that think that it doesn't, but it does. So.
Oh, speaking of other races on the planet, Tony had a question.
Mm-hmm.
He says he has heard about he recently came across talks of beings from the sun. He found the idea fascinating and was wondering if such a thing were possible, and
Yes.
if so, what might they look like?
Oh boy.
Fire beings?
No, they're actually kind of dark-skinned. Sorry. Anyway, shadows. They look like shadows. Yeah. Tall shadows. That's what they look like to us because they vibrate at a different level than we do. Yeah, they look like shadows.
They use the solar flares to travel.
No.
They just shoot solar flares for fun.
No, that's just what the sun does. It does do that, but they do create openings to move through. We can't see them. We're too slow.
We're the noobs.
No, we're not the noobs. We're the dunces. We're slow. Our vibration is very slow. It's so slow. It's solid.
So, oh, that makes sense. It's so slow, we're solid.
Yeah.
This is true.
They're a lot faster than we are. Some of them.
Like Sasquatch.
Okay. Let me see if I can explain this. If you live on the sun, what we call hot is not. If you live on the sun. Do you understand? That means many of the effects that we suffer from the sun, they don't at all. So we think that because they're sun, they may come off looking, they're from the sun, they come off looking like fire.
Yeah, fire elementals.
No. Fire is fire here. Okay? Fire from the sun is something entirely freaking different. Okay?
Like there's fire and then there's lava. Like that difference. Yeah, I get it.
Kind of. Sort of.
Solar fire.
In a way.
Woo! Imagine.
Kind of. It's more like, alright, if you're from a planet like Neptune, and there's another one out there that's a hydrogen-based planet,
Oh yeah.
what you call water,
Yep.
what we call water, is not there. It's something else.
It's like electrolytes.
Something different there. So they're different from what we think that they might be. And no, they may not be bipedal. They may not have two eyes. They may not have a mouth. They may look entirely different. We like to make everything look like us for some reason. You know?
We're more comfortable with something that looks humanoid. If
Yeah,
not,
we are more
we get
comfortable.
freaked out.
You know, they may look like, okay, so they look like kind of a shadow, right? But what if that shadow really didn't take a human shape? What if it just looked like a wisp of smoke? You know?
What? I'm sorry, like what?
What if it just looked like a wisp of smoke? Or maybe what if it just looked like a solar flare? What if it wasn't like you said, oh, do they use solar flares to travel? No. Actually, what if they were a solar flare?
Yeah,
In
that's.
fact, they were one with the flare. Or actually the flare. Like when it flared, there was a bunch of them.
They're like woohoo!
Like, what if you poured this water, but the water wasn't like, people weren't in the water, the people were the water.
Ew.
That's what I mean, like that. So maybe they're not in the flare, maybe they are the flare.
We are drinking the people.
And maybe they've been here for a long time. Ever consider that perhaps whatever the sun is actually a little tiny bit of that is actually in the middle of the earth?
Yes.
So perhaps those creatures that are there are also in the middle of the earth?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They made several movies about that.
So is it a matter of them visiting here, or is it a matter of them just
Coming out.
coming out to play
You. In the middle of nowhere.
in the middle of nowhere? Anyway, each one of your questions are like a whole segment. So perhaps I'll start opening segments. And what else have you got?
Michelle Ayat says, the universe led me to Z and he is an awesome teacher. He is teaching me as it is called for.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And that is it.
So, this was actually a fun show. What time is it?
9:08.
Ah,
Did you know that the British and the Spanish astronomers are claiming that there are 2 more planets
yes, I told you that.
outside
years
of
ago.
the dwarf, whatever they call Pluto now?
Didn't I tell you that?
Yeah, I know. I was just telling you that it's.
I told people that like years ago,
I'm
years and years ago, because I was looking
that.
right at it. I said, listen, there's also 2 more out there.
Yes, it has been confirmed.
Oh, well.
Beyond
But,
the orbit of
hey,
Pluto.
nobody ever wants to talk to me about it. They want to talk to somebody who really doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
That's because you can't go up to them and say, well,
Oh, I can.
well, you can say that, but then they'd be like, well, how do you know?
Because
You-
I know.
You can't be like, well, because I know. They're scientists. They want concrete evidence.
Yeah, well, they don't give us any concrete evidence. Where's my flying car? Scientists? Where they at?
Yeah, where's the DeLorean? I've been waiting since the 80s, since I was born for that.
DeLoreans are everywhere.
Wait, those weren't spacecrafty like? Never mind.
DeLoreans are all over the place.
What? Wait, no, they
They're like
did.
passe.
They could like time travel and stuff.
No.
Yes, the
DeLorean-
DeLorean could time
No.
travel. That was what Michael J. Fox would get into and
Oh my
go
God.
streaming down the road.
Whatever.
And then Doc would.
No, I'm talking
and then
about, listen,
whoosh.
they claim that we would have flying cars, but have you, like,
Oh.
seen their rendition of flying cars?
They don't want
Those are not flying. Those are just cars that make a lot of freaking noise. They go, and then they try to steal them, and all they do is this.
Those are called swamp riders.
Yeah. Give me the money. I'll build you a flying car. I will build you a car that flies. In fact, I can build you a spaceship. But then again, I'm just your neighborhood telepath. I did tell people that there were planets out there. And there were like, there's a few more planets out there. They're even linking planets, but hey.
Dwarf planet.
Sorry. No one's going to listen to me. Not until it actually happens. And then someone will say, Z, didn't you say that like years ago? Yeah, I did. So what? Anyway, look, if they need somebody to go fly to a planet and to find out whether or not it can,
60 million
support
miles.
life, I will do it.
67 million miles. Oh no, wait, that's from the sun. Never mind.
I will very happily do it. Anyway, I would like to thank you all for joining us on Ask the Unicorn. If you have any questions, please write your questions down, because I've since learned from a few people that everyone just likes to hear me talk. That's great, but I do like answering questions, which is kind of why I did the show, But I do enjoy your company. Thank you for joining us. I do hope that you'll tell your friends and tell
your
other people that may
friends.
need some help in the department of the metaphysical, the spiritual, the paranormal, and the mystical. I do spiritual counseling as well, and I also do readings. And these are telepathic readings. I don't really need props to do my readings, but I do keep the cards there. I may pick a rune, or I may just decide to have you give me a penny, and then, I'll read your penny or whatever. As a telepath, I really don't depend on your energy to do what I do, but it makes people feel really eerie when I just sit down and tell them things about themselves. So I have my cards that I use, and I carry them with me. Most times I forget to pull one, but at least there it makes people feel comfortable. All that being said, remember, you can contact us on at www.asktheunicorn.com or www.unicorn-cove.com. And you can check me out on Facebook. We also have a Twitter account. You can check us out on the Unicorn Cove School of Metaphysics page as well, and the Unicorn Ranger Psychic Police Department. And
Hiroshi did his. Wow.
focus.
I'm trying to.
Anyway, I will see you all next week. I do hope that you'll have a wonderful week. Remember to visit my Daily Bread Low Sodium Bakery campaign as well. And tell a bunch of people, okay? And tell them that, I really want to do this and I can help the community. Remember, I'll also be donating a portion of the bread and baked goods to food pantries, local food pantries, and homeless shelters as well. But I need things like mixers, stand mixers. I need things like ovens. I need to be able to open this place locally so that I can do my job. And at least where I am, I will end hunger. Thank you all for watching. See you all next week.
Good night.
Unicorn out.